Welcome back to the Bitcoin Digital Course. My name is Ryan Matta, and today, lesson 9, the lesson you've all been waiting for, is how do we set up these crypto trading bots? So these are going to be algorithmic crypto trading bots that trade Bitcoin 24/7. They're going to do so on Bitsgap. The QR code that you were looking at on here on the screen is to Bitsgap. This will get you a free week trial, so that way you can get over here and you can test out this software. What's really cool about this software is they actually have a demo mode. So if you want to test out these bots, if you want to set up an account, I think that it's going to ask you and give you that week free trial right away. But don't quote me on that. So the second that you start that week free trial, you might have to be kind of using your demo mode to test it out and play with it as well. But you guys can kind of see where it goes from there and let me know what you guys think. But we're going to walk you through the process of how to set up these Bitcoin trading bots. These are automatic crypto trading bots. They're going to trade 24/7 and they cannot make a losing trade. Let me show you what I mean. So now that we are over here on the Bitsgap website, the first thing I want to kind of walk you guys through is what plan do you choose? Now, personally, if you're going to set these up, the month by month is way more expensive. It's actually like $12 or $15 more a month, more expensive. And that adds up over time. So if this looks like something that you think you're going to use, maybe you do 1 month just to kind of get started and see where you start. But I personally just think that the advance is the way to go. You get 10 actions, which are grid bots. You get 50 DCA bots, which we just need the active grid bots. That's going to be the main thing that we actually are going to use. We honestly technically only need one. So it is what it is. Now, the best part, in my personal opinion, is the trailing up and trailing down grid bots, right? The way that I'm going to teach you to set up these bots doesn't work without the trailing down and the trailing up features. So that's super, super important. Now, take profits, I don't really use. Take profits for AI launch bots, don't really use. AI portfolio mode, don't use. Now, I haven't messed with any of this AI stuff yet. So we're just going to talk about how to set up a basic bot. So in my personal opinion, you're going to want to get this subscription. And you can't really even do it with this one. So honestly, in order to make these bots profitable, in my personal opinion, you're going to need about $5,000. Honestly, it would probably be $6,000 would be better to actually have at least $5,000 in USDT and then $1,000 in Bitcoin, because it's about a 20% ratio, so 80-20. So if you want to set up a Bitcoin trading bot that trades Bitcoin USDT, you're going to need about $4,000 in USDT, and you're going to need about $1,000 in Bitcoin. So that's about 80-20, give or take. But let's go over to the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to connect our bots via an API key to the exchange. So on whatever exchange you're using, there's going to be a tutorial which you'll actually go into your account. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come up to the tab up here on the top that says My Exchange. And you're going to choose to add a new exchange. So let's just say we wanted to add MEXC, or where else do we have an exchange at? So the first thing that we're going to want to do once we get Bitsgap set up is we're going to need to connect whatever exchange. Now, every exchange is very similar. So if you're using Bybit, if you're using COINBASE, if you're using Binance or POLONIEX, they all are very, very similar. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come over here. You're going to want to hit Connect Exchange. You're going to want to choose the exchange that we're going to use. And this one we're going to set up for Coinbase. And you're going to see it's going to ask you for an API key. And then it's going to ask you for a secret API key. So if we come over to the Coinbase help page and you just search API key, which is what I did right here, right in their help page, and it's going to pull up this article, how to create an API key. So when you choose this article, how to create an API key, sign into your Coinbase exchange account, select the API key thing on the left side of your keyboard or left side of your dashboard. So if we come back over here and we are on the advanced trading, you have to have the advanced trading on Coinbase, and that's going to create this API tab. And you see that I've already created this key that says API key, but what I didn't do is I did not copy the actual secret key, and it only displays that one time. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create another one. We're going to choose this one. We're going to call this one Bitsgap 2. And we're just going to want to make sure we have our trades, execute trades on your behalf. You never want to hit transfer or initiate funds, because then you're going to give this software, and if somebody hacks into this software, the ability to literally initiate a transfer and transfer funds off your account, drain your account, execute insane high leverage trades and get you wrecked. There's some dangerous things that have happened. I've not experienced it on Bitsgap, but I've heard rumors of other platforms and other exchanges experiencing these type of issues and these type of hacks. So we're going to hit create and download. And then it's going to say complete the two-factor authentication. So if you have the 2FA, you're gonna have to go through the process. We use a passkey. So to begin, etc. private key, you see your private key right here. Begin etc private key, and it's gonna say end etc private key here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna copy our API key, the API key name. We're gonna come back over to Bitsgap and we're gonna paste the API key here. Now the next part that I don't know and I don't understand is I've never seen this put this begin private key stuff here and end private key stuff. So I assume that they want us to copy and paste all of that in there. So we're gonna paste that, right? We're gonna paste it in there and we're gonna hit connect. And if it doesn't connect, and it connected, that simple. And immediately showed my balance. That's how you know it's connected. If you do not see your balance there, you are not connected to that exchange. So that should be really simple, really straightforward. And I'm actually gonna add right now, because I've already done it on Bybit, I'm gonna show you guys how to connect to Bybit as well, because I think a lot of people that are gonna be using this are most likely gonna be using Bybit or POLONIEX. But again, guys, it's the same exact process. So the first thing we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna swing over to the sign up tab. You're going to enter your username, email, or password. If I wanted to do this, I could just do it with a Google account to keep it really simple. So I'm gonna click Google. I'm gonna choose one of my old accounts. And boom, within 1 second, your account is already set up. Now, if I wanted to just jump in here and start trading, I easily could. I could choose a DCA bot. Welcome to the beta test, blah, 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 blah. You hit accept. Now, the first thing we're gonna wanna do is go up here, click on these 3 drop-down arrows. We're gonna come over to the left-hand side where it says My Exchanges. And you can see that I've connected Binance US already, and I have connected KuCoin. In the top left-hand side, we're gonna click the plus sign icon. We're gonna choose from the drop-down list. We're gonna scroll down until we see Bybit, and we're gonna click on Bybit. Now, the first thing it's asking you for is your API key and your secret key. So if we swing back over to Bybit and we hover over our account guy, and we scroll down, we can see API. We're gonna click API. For those safety of your assets, your API secret key will only appear once upon creation, and it hides afterwards. Please keep your API keys secret. So you say understood. Now, when we create these keys, what's unique about these keys is the fact that you can just create another one. So if you lose it, it's not like a wallet secret key that you have to worry about. So we're gonna hit create new key. So the first thing that we're gonna wanna do, name the API for this key. So we're just gonna name it Bitsgap. That's where we know where it's from. And then over here, you can see different options. Read and write. So you do orders, query information, submit, modify, cancel orders for derivatives, query positions, information, modify balances, leverage, and more derivatives. You can do spot trading. So we're definitely gonna do spot. We're gonna do copy trading. We are not going to do account transfers. We do not wanna give this API access to transfer assets. We don't want to transfer between main account and sub accounts, and we don't want to submit, cancel, or withdrawal requests. So there's certain things that you do not want to give this bot permission to do. I think trade USDT perpetual, trade all these. I don't know if Bitsgap actually has, whatever. But for wallet access, we want to make sure that we leave all of those off. Down here in the left-hand corner, we're going to hit the submit button. Going to ask for your 2-step authentication. Just type it into the box here. All right, now we have our API key and our secret key. We're going to copy our API key. We're gonna swing back over here to Bitsgap. We're gonna paste in our API key here. Come back to Bybit, grab our secret key. Now, important, secret key is secret. Don't share this with anybody. Obviously, why you guys can't see it on the screen. We're going to paste in our secret key right here. And we are going to hit connect to Bybit. And if it works, boom. You should see it connected, and you instantly, within 2 seconds, you can instantly see my Bybit spot account balance. On whatever exchange you are on, go to their help page, see how to create an API key, and realize that you have a secret and a regular key phrase. Just like on your crypto wallets that we walked you through and showed you how you have a public key and a private key. When you're talking about API access, you have the same thing. And you can only use that one time, right? After you close that out, it's going to basically mask and cover up your private key. That way nobody can steal that from you. Okay, so now that we got our exchanges connected, the next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go in and we're going to want to set up a bot. Now, first I want to walk you through a bot that I already have set up so that this will help drive this fact home, and it'll really help lock it in, and you can understand how these bots are actually running. So we're going to go up to the top. We're going to go to bots, and you're going to see this bot here. Now this bot says that it's up $16,989 and it's been running for 8 months and 13 days. So if we just do the math on that and just say we'll round up and say it's $17,000 and it's divided by 8,000 or 8 months, right? This bot is averaging me on average of $2,122 a month. So why is that so valuable to me, right? So I've been lucky and fortunate enough to purchase this home. It was a foreclosure for like 35 grand. So I was able to buy it cash. I guess you'd say my taxes, my bills, everything here are roughly 500. And then my food, my electricity, my internet, my cable, all of those bills to combine are about 1,200. But let's even round up and say it's 1,500. Let's say it's 2,000 with food. Okay. So now my bot is generating me $2,125 a month. So technically I would be able to buy an extra $125 a month worth of Bitcoin, and I would be able to more than pay every single bill, every single expense, everything that I have to have as overhead to get by. And that's where I want to get you guys. I want to get you to a point where your Bitcoin bots are generating you enough passive income to replace all of your daily expenses and your weekly expenses, as that is just getting by. I'm not talking about trips to the Bahamas and all that, which you can continue to scale this bot up. And the bigger it gets, the easier it will be for you to generate passive income. Now you can also set up, which is a lot dangerous, but they are more profitable, are actually shitcoin trading bots. And you can set them up to trade Bitcoin pairs. So maybe we'll set up a small one. We'll set up a little XRP and we'll set up a little Bitcoin bot just to kind of show you guys how you can actually trade Bitcoin for a shitcoin or a shitcoin for Bitcoin. So let's get this party started and let's kind of dive into it. So it's kind of confusing because these white lines that you're seeing up here shouldn't technically be there. Those were all at one point Bitcoin limit orders where it had bought Bitcoin at these higher levels up here, right? You can see where it bought Bitcoin all in here. And once it buys up there, it's going to sell. So basically the last point that it looks like it bought at was somewhere around 107,000. And then since then it has came down and came down and came down. So these were all actual sell orders. But what I did is because my bot had got up well over 100 grand, I ended up just going in the exchange and manually removing these limit orders and saying, okay, I'm cool with that Bitcoin. I'm just going to take it off the exchange. I'm going to put it in a cold storage wallet. I don't want to leave that much Bitcoin on these exchanges. But that's for the most part what you're looking at here. So taking a look over here, you can see how this bot has not stopped running. Every time in here that you see that the bot was not running, that is because the bot had technically ran out of USDT. So it had bought, $70,000 worth of USDT, and I ended up having to give it, or $70,000 worth of Bitcoin. Then I ended up giving it like another 30 grand, got all the way up to 100 grand, and it was able to turn back on, and now it's trading back in this zone, right? So don't let this confuse you. I know I'm saying a lot, but all you need to understand is that each red line here is a buy order, and each green line is a sell order. Sorry, each green line is a buy order, each red line is a sell order. And every red and green dot you see on the screen is a buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. So this is December 24th. If you just take a look at the buy and sell orders on just December 24th, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 55, 56, 58, 59, 60, 61. So this bot, and it's only 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And I probably didn't even go all the way back to the beginning of 2024. Oh, I didn't even come close to going back. Start of 2024 starts right here. So if we start right here, it's probably about 70 trades already. So this bot trades at well over $100 or well over 100 times a day. And it's trading roughly $800 worth of Bitcoin every single time it trades. So if we take a look at I believe I can go to bot actions. We can go to view details. So it's got a 0.14 grid step. So that means every 0.14%, the bot is going to make a trade. And it doesn't tell me the amount per trade, right? It says that I have $56,000 in buy orders. So if I were to count each one of these buy orders, which we can do that to give you guys an exact number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's 50 orders right there, give or take, if I counted that correctly. and it has $56,700, and we'll just round up to keep it simple. So if I do 56,700 and I go divided by 50, 50 equals $1,134. So every time this bot buys, it is buying $1,134 worth of Bitcoin. That means every time it sells, it would be selling $1,134 worth of Bitcoin. Let's say we want to shut this bot off. Let's say we want to turn this bot off. We have enough limit orders here to set this bot back up. We have enough Bitcoin up here to keep this thing going. Let's regrid this bot. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to cancel this bot. So I'm going to go to my bot actions and I'm going to go to stop bot. And it's going to say convert to USDT, keep the Bitcoin and keep the USDT. So if you set convert, right, if you bought all this Bitcoin at a loss, it's going to sell that Bitcoin at a loss. It's going to leave you with all USDT. You don't want to do that. We're going to keep our Bitcoin. It's going to tell me you have 0.24 Bitcoin and you have $33,000 in USDT. And we're going to hit confirm. And you can see there, it's going to show you what this bot ended up with, and it's adding up my total and it's going up. So the total profit and loss that this bot has acquired is 17,000. It's at 17,250, and it's still canceling orders. And we'll be able to go into the bot history and actually see the exact amount. But it's going through the total bot because I manually took away orders, which those don't count as a profit when the bot is actually on. But once the bot stops, now we can go into the history of this bot. So you can see here in our history, and this obviously is based off of a time frame. So our recent history, we have this one bot that over the course of 8 months and 13 days made us $16,956, which was 28%. So in an 8-month period, I increased the wealth, right? From, it looks like $60,132 to $77,088.39. So that is literally, you need to buy your child a new car. You need to, pay off a major credit card debt. That is what these bots are designed to do. And this is why the government despises people like me, teaching people like you how these legacy banks and these players like BlackRock and Larry Fink and Ray Dalio, they all have algorithmic bots. And these algorithmic bots are designed to scalp trade. So once they generate enough wealth, they can take that wealth and they use it to generate passive income. And they create this never-ending faucet, folks. Let me be very clear on this. This never-ending faucet of an unlimited supply of new capital coming in. The more money and the more of your asset they can take into their 401ks, the more collateral they have. They can then take that collateral and they use it as a collateralized asset to borrow against it. And they take out loans against their, certified obligated debts. And they use that money to destroy your life. So this is what we are teaching you, folks. We are teaching you how to escape the matrix and generate 24/7 passive income from any country in the world, from a laptop, no matter where you're at. You have your Bitcoin. It is your Bitcoin. Now, the only downfall to this is you are keeping your Bitcoin on exchange, right? So when you see that bot with $70,000, at any time, that exchange can get hacked. That exchange can get taken over by their government. That exchange can get seized. And that's why I like these global exchanges, right? So if you're talking about Binance Global, you're talking about something like Bybit that is internationally global, that is doing, $3 billion worth of volume in just Bitcoin USDT, which would be about $20 million at a 1% fee. $20 million a day that exchange is making just off the fees from the trades that Bitcoin is placing, or that people are placing with Bitcoin on their exchange. Not to mention Ethereum, XRP, Shiba, and all these shit coins that you see people trading. So this is massive money. It would be in their worst interest to close down a money printer that is printing them $20 million, $30 million, $40 million, $50 million a day. That would be insanity. So that is why you see companies like Bybit flying me out to Dubai, because they make ungodly amounts of money. And we make ungodly amounts of money. And that's the name of this game, is generating passive income, guys. So let me quit over talking it. And let's get into setting up this next grid bot. So I'm going to say, let's say we want to do it with we got $30,000, right, to work with, because the stable coin is the name of the game, right? So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to choose start a new bot. We're going to go grid bot. And you're going to see it's going to automatically just basically give you like a basic setup. Now, for some reason, let's just say you wanted to use this setup. what you can do here is you can actually choose the backtest button. So the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we have Bybit as our exchange selected, or whatever exchange you want to use. You're going to choose the pair that you want to pair it. We're going to choose BTC USDT. So if you didn't see it there, just type in BTC, and you're just going to scroll down till you see USDT right there, BTC USDT. And it's going to ask you, how much of your money do you want to use? It's going to say, okay, we'll put all of your $60,000 in, and we're going to do it right here. This bot setup would be $32,000 in USDT, and it'd be about 2.8 Bitcoin. And it shows you down here that your base currency is only 2.4 Bitcoin. That's all you have. And you have 36,000. So you just need to move this slider down, or it's going to take it'll take that extra USDT that you have down here, and it's going to buy the additional Bitcoin that it needs to start this bot. But what we could do is we could hit the backtest button, which is right behind my photo. Kind of move myself over there for a minute. So the backtest button, if you run this backtest, and it's going to show you over the last 30 days, it actually has a profit margin of 5.6%, which is actually pretty damn good. I'm not going to lie. Like, that's a really good profit margin, right? So that means every 30 days, if you're making 5% over an 8-month period, this bot would have made 40%. Mine only made 28%. So maybe, just maybe, my bot isn't the best strategy, but let's try to mess with it. The cool thing with this is we can set up our own grids. So if I go to manual adjustment, I'm looking for a grid step, right? So 0.4, let's just say we did a 0.5 grid step. That is the easiest way to explain it to you. That means every 0.5% that Bitcoin comes down, it's going to place a new buy order, right? So you can literally see I'm going down 0.5% there, roughly, give or take. And you're seeing the green line here, the next green line. So that means 0.5%. Now, your bot is only getting charged a 0.1% fee. So if you're making a trade every 0.4 or 0.5, that means your profit margin is going to be about 0.4 on that trade, right? Because you got to give 0.1 to the exchange for the fee. Now, the cool part about it is when these bots start trading more money and they start to, like after you do $10,000 worth of trades on most exchanges, you're actually going to get a discount on your trading fees. Now, how these platforms work is the profit margin they're showing you there is they're already calculating out what the fees were charged on that exchange. So they automatically default to whatever their max fees are. So they don't look into your exchange and go, oh, he's getting charged less fees. Let's adjust our math problem. They just say, no, we're going to show you how profitable your bot was based off the maximum fees that you should have paid. So as you start to trade more often and you start to get a more comfortable with what you're doing, you're actually able to actually set these bots up, and then your bot's going to be even more profitable because it's going to show you 16,000. But if I got a discount on my fees, or say it was showing us the 16,000, like right here, for example, it's showing us 16,956. Well, that is based off of me paying a 0.1% fee. But if my bot did, $100,000 or $1 million or $5 million worth of trades, I'm going to go from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 tiers. And every time I go up in a tier, I get a discount on my trading fees. And the bot doesn't automatically calculate those in because it doesn't need to, right? It doesn't need to have all that extra information coming from your exchange, which you kind of don't want it to have anyways. You just want to have it the base principle so that it's never going to let you lose money, which that means that if we go back over to our bot setup here, and we go back to setting up a new bot, we hit grid bot, right? And we start to move these things around. We check out, look, we're going to click the manual adjustment tab, and you're going to see it says 0.48. What I like to do is get around like a 0.1% grid fee, which is really kind of hard to do. And you're going to see it's going to show you the amount of grids that it's willing to set up, and it's showing you right here. So this bot is actually going to need $44,000 in USDT, and it's going to need $16,000 or 0.16 Bitcoin. And remember, if we scroll down here, we can see we have $36,000 and we have 0.24 Bitcoin. So what I can do is I can actually go up on, you can move these around. You can go up on your Bitcoin. And what does that do? That ends up increasing the amount of Bitcoin you need, but it decreases the amount of USDT you need. So this bot, I need 36,000 right here. And that's saying that, hey, for this bot, I'm going to give it $30,000, right? And I'm going to give it $36,000. And that $36,000 is going to be used in a 5% range, which is a lot, guys. Like that's a lot of money to trade in there. So that means that if those grids that are there right now, and if I just take a look and I zoom in on these grids, that means it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Let's just say it's 17. I might be off by 1 or 2 numbers, but let's just say it's 17. You're going to take 37, basically 36,000, let's just say 500, and we're going to divide that by 17. That means every line, right, is going to be making a $2,000 trade. So what that means is right now, if price came down from 98,000 all the way down to 93, which it has right over here, went down to 92, that means at 93,000, your bot's going to stop trading because it'll have bought you $36,000 worth of Bitcoin between that level. Now, if you want it to go further, right, then you need to expand that grid. And let's just say we want to go down 10% now, because I think 10% down from where it's at right now is a fairly good price. We're expecting it to go to 87, at least 87, if not 82, maybe even 75 if the market gets really bearish. So I think 87 would be a great spot to start. That's going to mean that we're going to have a 0.5 grid step, which I don't like. I want to do a 0.2, which means you have 74 grid set up, which means you're going to need $49,000. Or I could go up in my Bitcoin value, right? And I'm adding more grid levels and I'm lowering the amount of USDT that I need here, if that makes sense. So I could also go like this, and I can also slide my slider bar down to where I get to 36,000. And I got 36,000. I need 0.17 Bitcoin, which I have easily. It's going to trade my Bitcoin all the way up to 104. And if I move down on that, yes. So this bot right now, I could set up as is. So let's just say we want to do a 0.2 grid step trades, and we want to back test this and see if this bot would have been more profitable. And it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been more profitable than the one that they had set up there. So that is up to you, right? You could take their setup and you can say, hey, I'm going to use their setup. Now what happens if we go to, we want trailing up and we want trailing down on as well. And we want to say, hey, we're willing to go down as low as 70,000, right? I think that's plenty of enough because you're going to have to add more money to it if it goes down there anyway. So now I want to back test this. And still 3.21%. If this same bot would have been running over the last 30 days. Now, what if I put up this even higher? And it seems like it's more profitable with a bigger grid spacing. Let's back test it with 0.35. Oh yeah, we keep going up, folks. We keep going up. Hell, let's give this a shot. Let's try something new. This isn't the way I would have normally set it up, but this is what the best part about these bots is it's you get to give it a try and you get to try your own strategy. So we're gonna say, hey, we're willing to put 36 grand for this bot to come all the way down to 87,000. We're willing to put it up to, let's say, I don't know, 104,000 for the up, but we also have extra Bitcoin. So if we need it, we can put trailing up on and it's going to move up. It'll put more limit orders up here. And then that way, this bot's going to stay on for a very, very long time, a very, very long time. So we're going to hit continue. Once we are happy with our settings, I think, again, when you're back testing that and you're getting above a 4% in a 30-day period, that is kick ass, guys. That is great. Historically, model bot trading, $53,000 in USDT is used as the initial investment. Okay, I'm cool with that. Well, let's give it a shot. So it's saying right here, we need $35,000 to start this bot. We need 0.1763 Bitcoin. We scroll down to the bottom, we got 36,000, which will give us a little extra USDT if we need to add more to our bot as it comes down. And then we're going to have 0.2 for the Bitcoin. So if it goes up and it needs to add more up here, it has extra Bitcoin as well. So we're just going to start this. And you can see my ratio, right? Like, what is my ratio here? 35,000 between, I don't know, what is $0.137 in Bitcoin. So that is $17,000 roughly, $17,300 in Bitcoin divided by 36,000. So we'd say 36,000, 35,000. We'll do it dead on. 700 divided by 17,350 equals 2.5. So it's 2-to-1 ratio. So you need about 33% in USDT, or sorry, you need 33% in Bitcoin, and you need about 66% in USDT. And we're going to hit continue. And it's going to kind of show you all those settings again. You have 52 grid levels. So the max grid levels you can ever have is 100. So you need to make sure that, let's say, you know, if you want to turn this bot on, you want to give it more money and you want it to come down another 10%, which I think is what we're pretty close to right here, is another 10%. Yeah, it's 11% roughly that we're going to trade in that range. And we have a total grid range of basically 16%. So as long as Bitcoin stays in that same 16% range, which it does majority of its life cycles, you're golden. And then if you have more money, like in the next month or two, if you plan to make some more passive income and you think Bitcoin's going to keep coming down, you can give this bot more Bitcoin. And again, the worst thing, or more USDT, and the worst thing it's going to do is just DCA you into Bitcoin. So we're going to hit start bot. What you're going to see is you're going to see this bot trying to start these lines. It's going to start going and putting limit buy orders. It's going to start taking your USDT and it's going to say, I want to put, you know, a buy order here for $1,000 or 1,500 or 1,500, 1,500, 1,500, however many buy orders it needs to put in. And at the same time, it's going to start taking the Bitcoin that you already have, and it's going to say, hey, I'm willing to sell Bitcoin here, 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 and here, because if price only goes up from the time you start your bot, it needs to be able to sell Bitcoin. So that's why it needs to have some Bitcoin in its portfolio. And then if price immediately starts to come down from the time you start your bot, it needs to have USDT to buy Bitcoin because it needs to buy low and it needs to sell high. So you're going to get the successful signal. And now, like right now, it says that it's negative $13, right? So every once in a while, it'll have to buy a piece of Bitcoin. It'll have to do something right in the beginning of setting up your bot. And you're going to see, you know, you're in the negative, right, for a minute. Now, keep in mind, too, this is what most people don't understand, right? Your bot profit is the only thing that matters. As long as you do not sell, you are not going to be at a loss. So if price comes down, and say it buys a Bitcoin at 98,000, right? And it buys $1,000 worth of Bitcoin at 98,000. And then Bitcoin falls all the way down to 88,000 or 87,000, right? The Bitcoin that you bought up here is technically down 10% in value. So it's going to say, hey, your bot profit, because you bought and the price came down, you're buy, right? It's like DCing into Bitcoin. When you DC into Bitcoin, you're going to show that you're at a loss, but you're not selling that Bitcoin. So unless you buy here and you write it down here and you sell your Bitcoin, you're not losing anything. You just need to pay attention and wait for the bot to go back up. Once the bot goes back up and gets above your, you know, the lowest point you started to buy at, you're going to be good. You're going to be way, way, way in the profit. So basically what I'm saying is if you were to just to say you bought X amount of Bitcoin here, you bought $36,000 worth of Bitcoin at 98,000 and it falls down, well, your $98,000 would be, you know, 10% off. So it'd be like, I don't know, say you bought $100,000 at 98,000 and it went down 10%. Well, then that $100,000 of Bitcoin would be down to 90,000. Like the value of your Bitcoin would be 90,000, right? So as your bot buys, the price keeps coming down. You are not losing money, guys. Even though your bot will show your total profit and loss at a loss, but that's because you have Bitcoin that you bought at a high price and it's went down in value. Okay, but as soon as it goes back up and it gets back above this yellow line, your bot's going to be well in the profit. And what it's going to do in between here is it's going to buy, sell constantly. So that means that if you would have bought 100,000, you just wrote it down. When by the time you got down here, you would 100% be down your 10%. But when you have a bot trading in between there, right? By the time you get down here, you might only be down 9% or 8% or 7% because your bot has traded and made so many profitable trades. And every time it's making a trade, it's taking that profit and it's putting it into your portfolio, right? It's putting it into your portfolio. It's not putting it back into your bot. It is putting it back into your portfolio. So you can see we're starting this bot right now with about $53,000. That is the current total value of our bot, and she's up and running. Now, if I come up here as well, if for some reason you're not seeing like any green and red dots, you can go to like a 1 minute time frame. Maybe sometimes they'll show them on a 1 minute time frame. When you're on a 1 minute time frame, you're going to see every single dot that your bot has made on that screen. And if you're not seeing one, it's because price hasn't moved. And they call this chasing dots. So you're literally just, the more green and red dots you see on the screen, you're golden. You don't have to do anything else. You get to sit back now and you just get to let this bot run. Check on it once a week. Make sure your APIs are still connected. Every once in a while, an API key will go bad. So your bot will turn off. You have to stop your bot. You'll have to regrid it. You'll have to turn back on the API key and you'll just have to reset up your bot. Now, again, you guys watched the last bot I ran for 8 months. Haven't had to touch it. Haven't had to do anything to it. The only reason you guys seen those white lines on the screen was because I knew I was going to be setting up this bot. And I was like, okay, I wanted to take that Bitcoin, the profit that bot had made, that $16,000, I wanted to get off that exchange. So I needed to close out those orders. I know I wasn't going to use them in my bot. I didn't think price was going to go back up to 107 in the next week. I was like, okay, I'm making the video tomorrow. I'll cancel those lines out because I was doing the wallet tutorial for you guys. I wanted to send that Bitcoin to a wallet, right? Get all that set up. And then from there, now we're kind of regridding this bot. So in the next episode, I'm going to teach you how to set up a shitcoin bot to actually trade Bitcoin for a shitcoin. So hopefully this video helped you guys. Hopefully you guys understand how to connect that API address. Obviously, I didn't walk you through the setup of a Bitsgap account. Guys, that's super simple. It's like creating a Facebook. Use your Gmail, log in. All of your information is going to be there. You might have to add your address and a few other things. Choose the advanced option, right? That is the best option. Again, you guys can use demo mode. So I might as well show you how to use demo mode. So if we come over to the top up here, we click our name, you can see demo mode is off. If you turn on demo mode is on, right? You can come over here and you can actually set up a bot, right? Now you can see in my demo mode account, I have, it looks like on Binance, my demo mode account, on Binance, I got 50 something thousand dollars. If for some reason you don't have any exchange in your demo accounts, you can go and demo mode active. Please note that demo mode bots automatically close after 30 days. To start real trading, switch to live mode. Okay, so you can go into your history and we can go back into like 2022. I thought I could go back in there. Looks like I pissed it off. It froze it up. It didn't want to show me that history. But again, if you go into your demo mode is on, your bots are good. You can see your Bitcoin balance and everything balance over on these exchanges. This is your demo mode. Demo mode active, right? So you can start a new bot in demo mode. This is obviously just going to be Binance. It's going to be a test. But let's say we want to do like a bot like KDA, right? Like maybe you just wanted to see how stupid you could be. You come over here, you grab KDA. You go ahead, you say, okay, I got 44,000 KDA. I got a bunch of Bitcoin. If I want to set this bot up and just let it rip, let's see what the back test on this sucker would be. 6.34% in the last 30 days. So this bot would have made you 6.34% in the 30 days. You can literally just go continue and set up a bot and it'll see how it runs. And you can set up multiple bots, right? Like I wouldn't use all my Bitcoin KDA, but like you can just come over here and mess around and move things around and go, okay, cool. Like what if I do this, you know? Can I back test it? Like what is that strategy going to look like? And you run a back test and you're going, okay, 4.949%. That's not good. All right, cool. We're gonna try it again. Or that is good, you know? Whatever the case may be, demo mode's an awesome feature. You guys can mess around with this. There's so many great tutorials out there. I just kind of want to give you guys enough. And then you guys can also use the copy trade button. So if you guys just want to set up the same bots I am, I'll let you do that. I'll turn on copy trade right now. I'll leave the link down in the description. You guys can literally set up the exact same bot I have set up. Now you can do that with any amount of money. You don't have to do it with the 53,000. You can do it in proportion. You know, you could do 1,000 and 3,000, or what would be 1,500 and 3,000, whatever the 66-33% ratio would be. Ballpark in that range. You guys get what I'm saying. God bless you guys. Again, my name's Ryan Matta. Be safe out there. Enjoy the holidays with your family. It is Christmas Eve, and we're getting ready to go over to the family's house with the sun. So we're going to enjoy it. But we're also going to say a prayer for those poor innocent children that have been trafficked by our government and are being sold into a nightmare that none of us could imagine. My name is Ryan Matta. I'm also a documentary filmmaker. I specialize in child trafficking. If you guys would like to support our work, you guys can do so by using these affiliate links, supporting us over here on our shows. We also have a monthly subscription over on X. You guys can also go over to one of my websites, which is thisistreason.com, and you can purchase an order of our copy of our documentaries, or you can go over to Twitter and follow me at ryanmattamedia and see my most recent films, which this Operation Amber Alert series. They're all going to be free. I've released the first one on November 25th. The next one's coming out by February 25th, if not sooner. So most likely by the time some of you guys are watching this, you guys will, my documentaries will be out and you'll see the impact that they're making and the amount of children that we're going to save on a global scale. You know, we're on this mission from God, and we'd appreciate the support. If you guys could afford to skip a cup of coffee and go over and subscribe to our X page. That's where this Bitcoin digital course was being released first. Same with over on Locals. I really despise Locals. I'm not going to be there much, but my Bitcoin digital course will be. So if you want to support us over there, by all means, guys, God bless each and every one of you. Have a great day, guys. Be safe out there. Trade safe. Stack sats. Save humanity. Lightning Networks here on the screen. If you guys want to make a donation in Bitcoin, it would do me the biggest solid. We out. Peace.